Well, it all started, and I had a regular 9-to-5 job, and in the same day I was laid off. I left an angry woman, and I kind of burned my house down. The only thing I had left that wasn't smoke damage was one load of laundry. So my brother comes up to Santa Rosa, where I was living, and he's like, how much is deductible on this place? And I asked my roommate who I'm renting the place for, he goes, $1,000. My brother pulls out $1,000, throws it on the table and goes, let's go play poker. So we go up to Reno, playing the WPT. I win like 3 satellites, I'm doing well, and I meet the woman who hires the dealers for the WPT and the WSOP. She goes, sit down and deal the hand of Omaha right there. So I do, and she goes, I'd like to work for the WSOP. I'm like, sure. So I go on, I can come and work, I go to Tahoe, work an event, come to the series, work through that, and I started on the circuit. I did some work, and Jack Effels traveled with the circuit at that time. I helped out doing single table satellites at one of the circuit events, and he asked me if I would like to come and help do single table satellites at the World Series of Poker. I'm like, of course I would. And then from there, I mean, I'm a true student of poker. I love the game. I just love how it works, how it plays, and I turned out to be pretty good at it. So Jack says, would you like to work on the floor? As I'm working on the floor, Charlie Cerisi, Steve Frazier, all the guys that I've worked for said, hey, come work for us on the bracelet events. And I've been doing that for 15 years, and I'm still doing it.
So, over 15 years, you must have seen a lot. Probably a lot you can't even mention on camera.
I can't even talk about it. We'll talk about that in the tell-all, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But do you have some stories for us? What do you have a fondest memory here?
Well, one of them, I like when we were filming back in the day, the camera used to be on a railroad track, and they would pull on, and it would be hooked to my belt, and it was like they were pulling me on a fishing line, and like Mike Mattisau exposed an ace, I was pulled away, he exposed another ace, I come back, I see a black ace, I have no idea. Adrian Lopez, who's one of our supervisors, head supervisors here now, was dealing at the time, doesn't say a word, because he's like, and I said, don't worry, they'll never put our mistakes on TV. Well, that's not true, because they put that, next thing you know, my phone started ringing, I must have got 100 phone calls. Why didn't you give him a penalty? So, just things that happen at the series are so magnified, right? Because I'll do, you know, there'll be a floor call about something that's, like, especially in the main event, and it'll be on, you know, TV and whatever else, and so I'll be somewhere in, like, Alaska, and somebody go, how'd that floor call work out? It's amazing where these places are. I mean, I can run into people all over, you know, any country, and somebody knows me because I work at the World Series of Poker. So it's a big world, but it's a small world.
Are there any particular players you've gotten close to over the years that are your friends now?
Oh, Brian Reese, Daniel Negreanu, you know, I'm friends with pretty much the whole field over there in PLO. Yeah, we're brethren. I mean, poker's in our blood, so it comes with the territory. So we all have a common denominator, and we all kind of get along.
And do you still play much?
Anytime I can, but I can't. I mean, my brother can't even play in a WSOP event because I have chip access, and he's really kind of upset about that. But he's kind of proud of me at the same time. So, but I do anytime chance, because as soon as it's over, I'll probably end up one of the tournaments around town for sure.
And what's your game? Texas Hold'em?
I play a lot of Hold'em, but I like Razz, but the only time you can play is around here, so it's hard to. I can't play in any WSOP, so.
And you never foresaw a career as this, or?
Not until I got into it,
yeah.
And then I just happened to be pretty good at it.
And future, where do you see the future here?
I've got a couple.
Next for Bob?
Ooh, well, always the World Series. I do run a couple circuit events in LA. I do a couple things like that. There's a few projects going on in LA that I'm working on that, we'll talk about that later as they come to fruition. Jason Somerville and Run It Up, I've worked, I've been their tournament director and worked at the Peppermill for a while. I'll continue to be doing that, but,
What's your favorite part of your job?
I get to do this. I mean, it's a dream job. I mean, poker is part of me. I'm a student of the game. I truly love it, and I get to run a game for a living. It's kind of like Peter Pan. I don't ever have to grow up.
But keep watching us here at PokerNews.com for live updates throughout the day. Our coverage of the WSOP is powered by ClubGG.